Alright, so it's a little bit late making this, so I apologize to that because I did have a few people waiting on me. It's just been really kind of crazy here lately. So I'll try to get through this. Tonight, or whenever you're watching this, it's nighttime for me here. Um, Wanted to do some puzzles. And puzzles are great because I'll turn this back on. Um, Puzzles are great because your goal, whenever you have a chess game, is to be able to get to a position to where you have an advantage, some sort of tactical or positional lead. And most of these you're going to see. That's what this is. That's what puzzles are. Um, it's a critical moment in the game where you have to make a um, decisive plan, decisive action. Now, knowing when that's going to come up in a game, that's a little bit different because here it's given that these positions all are a critical moment, so it may be a little bit easier for some people to find the right move. It sometimes is for me. It really depends. Normally, for beginners, for intermediate players, I would like to kind of turn these on a little bit lower. But I think I kind of want to challenge everyone um, because this is my rating. This is my puzzle rating, and usually I'll do some just kind of simple tactics. Here, I think I'm just going to leave it on currently what it's at for me. So this is going to be a little bit tougher, but I'm going to try and talk my way um, through some of this and just try and help you think critically because I think that's kind of um, the main purpose of these. So, and also a side note, I didn't really start getting good at chess until I started watching YouTube videos on these opening traps, these opening theories by some really advanced players, and I didn't know what they were talking about a lot, but um, just watching that, I slowly picked up more. The more and more I watched, and then it kind of made sense after a while. So if some of this doesn't make sense to you right away, it's totally okay. Um, but just hang in there. Try and process this with me, these puzzles with me, and I'll try to explain as best I can. So anyway, with that out of the way, this is the first one we have here. Let's see if I can make this bigger, or if it's not big enough already. It looks a little bit smaller with the screen recording. So, um, so I just went back here. This is Black's last move. They just moved this bishop here, which is attacking our rook. It's attacking this. Okay. So whenever we look at a position, how to analyze a position, there's a few things you want to look at. The first thing you want to look at is material. How many pieces are left on the board? Here we can see that we both have queens, both sides have queens. There are 2 rooks for each side, and we have 2 rooks as well. And both sides have a light colored bishop. The pawns, it looks like there's 3 here, there's 3 here, there's 2 and 2, and then 1 and 1. So material is equal. Now, king safety. White's king is a bit safer, even though there's this sort of idea looming. These rooks can easily move out of the way. There's no immediate check that could give us any threat. Black's king, however, is in the middle of the board, um, with the pawn and the bishop, the rook. Doesn't have a lot of spaces to go to. So this king is a little bit vulnerable. Um, and what else do we have? This bishop is not being defended. No piece is attacking it currently, but this is a hanging piece, a piece that is not being defended. All other pieces are defended. This queen's defended. The rooks are defending themselves. So those are some things to note in this position. So when we look at moves here, trying to come up with some moves, you want to really key in on what are the weaknesses. And the only weakness I can see, big weakness, is this king. So, if we can checkmate the king, we can win. And that'll, if you have a way to checkmate, you should take it because you win the game, of course. So the first move that came to mind is this queen h4 check. And if the king were to move, say here, this would be checkmate. The king can't go anywhere else if we move here, so it has to move here if it moves. The problem is they could always push this pawn, and after this, I don't really see anything. So I'm gonna discard this move. That's not it. There's this check as well. After this check, the king can go here or here. And, well, if it goes here, again, there's this checkmate. So they're not going to move there. If they go here, I don't really see a way forward. It looks like they're a lot safer after that. We don't have any checks in that position. So this is probably not it either. The next move that comes to my mind is exchanging. So if no checks work, you need to look at any sort of exchanges you can make. These rooks are eyeing each other. So let's say we take, black would have two options. They could take that with the king, or with this other rook here. If they take with the king, let's say the king takes, I believe we have this queen check. If the king goes back, we win this rook, so that looks nice. Let's look at this move though. So let's say check. I'm sorry, no. I'm ahead of myself. Exchange here. Check here. I hope these arrows are helping. It is kind of hard to look ahead sometimes this far, but that really comes a lot with practice, I think. I don't see a concrete way forward after that. Maybe there's a concrete way forward and I'm just not seeing it. So let's say shot, so takes, king takes. Do we have any other move? We can't move this rook over because this bishop is here, so we'll just take the rook. Okay. There's also this pawn check. I don't look at that, but I don't really think that works. Okay, so I'm a little bit stumped here, to be honest with you. I'm leaning towards this move, though. So let's say, if the rook takes, really think the king takes, but the rook can also take. Takes. Maybe we have a check in that situation, but I think after this, they're fine. Okay, so what to do here? It's a good question. If we could take this pawn, that would be really nice. But the queen is here. We don't have a way to deflect that, I don't think. Yeah, we can't just, there's no piece that could attack the queen. I mean, there's this, but that's, you know, it doesn't work. I could probably spend, you know, another 20 minutes or so trying to get this one right. Okay. Let's look at this check again. Let's cycle through the options. So there's this move or this move. After that, what if we take a rook after that? So let's say rook takes. Sorry, let's not move because that would checkmate. Rook takes. Do we have anything in this position? We have to be careful. Let's say maybe we could slide over. There's this. Okay, I think it might be just slide over. Even after all those checks, just slide over. Not get checkmated because we do have a rook on this back rank. Okay, so looking at this here, maybe we take the rook. And after the rook takes back, do we have anything? Hold up. I might be seeing something else. Maybe not. No, that doesn't work. I was looking at this briefly to deflect the pawn so that maybe we can get this check, but it doesn't work at all because first off, we could just give this check first, and then that's actually checkmate. So yeah, that's not a good idea at all. You know, this looks interesting to me at this point. Although this is a check for that. Okay, so hold on, let me look at that. So we're looking at check here. Rook takes, rook takes, rook takes with check. Instead of the pawn takes the rook, because that's the most obvious forcing reply. It's a sacrifice we have to make. Do we have a way to checkmate the king? You know, I'm not seeing a good check from where our king is at on the square. Yeah, I don't see a good check there. Maybe it's just a waiting move. Move this over. I could defend the pawn like this. Check. So I wonder what it is. I want to go for this move. And either it's right or wrong. And then I'll see what the idea is. Okay, there's incorrect. What about taking? That's incorrect as well. Okay. Just cycle through some moves. Okay, why was this correct? Pushing the pawn was correct for some reason. Oh, is it because the king can no longer go here? With the pawn blocking so that after this check, wow, that's, yeah, it would have taken me a long time to find that idea, I think. I think that's the idea. What do we take first? Take this one first and check. Do it now. I think we give this check first and here. I'm not seeing the way forward after that unless I'm just not seeing something really obvious, which is very possible. It's, okay. So we get this check. And, you know, you saw I got that one wrong. If you're doing these chess puzzles by yourself, even if you get it wrong, you can still try and find the idea. And that'll help you improve a lot. Just trying to, yeah, that's the idea. Just, you know, just trying to get yourself better, even if you get it wrong. Don't worry so much about the rating that you're at, because it, you know, it'll go up and down sometimes. It's just how it is. Okay, and after this, what do we have here? King has to go back. Has to go here. Okay, we take the rook there. Oh, but it doesn't really matter because the king, once it moves to this back rank, it's cutting the connection between the rooks. So we can just take this. After the king has to take, there's this checkmate. So I'll show that real fast. Yeah. So that was a good one, even though I got it wrong. Alright. This one, there's a lot of stuff going on. Hold on, let me just back up. Alright, so give your mind a little bit to look at this new position that we have. Before we start looking at moves, we need to look at the position as a whole. So both sides have the queen, 2 rooks, black has a bishop, we do not have a bishop. King safety. Both kings actually look pretty vulnerable. If black can get this pawn push in, that looks very dangerous because we only have this one rook defending. Thankfully, it is our move though, so so we can we have the advantage, not the advantage. Well, yeah, we do have the advantage because it's a puzzle, but it's our move anyway, so we have the initiative. And black's king is also weak, so we need to look at ways to exploit that. And I see the solution here already. It's very nice, actually. So let's look at all the possible checks. There's this check, this check, this check, this check, and this check. It's a lot of checks. Let's start with the one that looks like it makes the most sense. Because all these other checks here, you're losing material, you know. Like if you go here, the bishop will take. So let's look at this check. After this check, just taking the pawn, the king has a lot of options. It can go here, here, here. The rook could also block. You could take a bishop, and then it most likely might get checkmated. So that's not good. I'll just give you a solution for this. If you want to pause and try to find it, go ahead and do that in a few seconds. Okay, so the solution here is actually has everything to do with the back rank. At least, well, the back lead ranks actually. The king is closed into this area, and this pawn that we have is helping lock down these two squares. This pawn is blocking, so the king is really boxed in here, kind of. And so the nice move we have is this queen sacrifice, because after the queen takes, the king takes, we can give this check. And because this pawn is here, the king is forced to go back. And after this rook is over here, cutting off the king, we have this checkmate with this rook. And it looks like this is a good move because you're winning a bishop, but remember, we don't have a bishop. So we're really not winning material as much as equalizing, but after this move, 3 pieces will be attacking this pawn. So we have to be a little bit faster than that. So this is the forcing move that wins in this position. So that was a nice one. Alright, new position. And this is an endgame. We have 4 pawns, and black has 5. What can I say here? Both kings are in the corner. So that's not good usually for an endgame because the kings are supposed to help promote the pawns. We have a much worse pawn structure. Just because, well, there's this 3-on-1 type of majority, so black is winning on this side of the board, essentially, because 3-on-1 will be able to promote usually with the rook over here. So we need to do something quickly, because if we don't, we're going to lose. The king is too far away to help these pawns promote. We can't do it with the rook along, since these 2 pawns are guarding. So, it's a similar type of theme to the last position, in the fact that, look at this king. You can't move off of this back rank. And because we have this rook, we can move it over and threaten checkmate. That is what I see. Although they have this move, which is interesting, because that would open up a square. So let's think about that. So move it over, push this pawn, so that this check is not checkmate after the king moves here. I want to just attack this pawn. Have to look. I think the king could also move here. Okay, so it's a little bit more complicated than I had originally thought. Let's see. Okay. Let's say we could just check first. Moves here, we can move back, we can just move over, and also the king can just go over here. So, alright, so it's a little bit complicated. Interesting. This may still be it, I'm not sure. If we just need to put the rook here, so that, let's say the rook takes this pawn, we take this one, we check, king moves, we take this one. That may be an idea. This does look like a good move to me, though. The other moves, you can try and defend this pawn, but this is not a good move. I mean, it's a good idea to defend the pawn, but it's just, you're restricting your rook. You need the rook to be free because that's the only thing you have going for you in this position, other than these two pawns. Push takes here, there's this. Check, takes. I don't know. I think that's one of. There's the king. This king is too far away from this pawn. You want to push this, but it's just not going to happen. So I don't believe in this push. I'm going to go here. Okay, they do push this pawn. Okay, now what? Maybe this check. King goes here. Maybe this check and maybe win this pawn. That actually looks pretty good. So let's say check. Although they don't have to go here, they could also go here. Interesting. This may be a position where we're just trying to get a draw. A few puzzles are like that, but they sometimes do happen. So like, it does look kind of drawish if I'm being honest. So let's say we go here, we could go back. We could shuffle back. We could also just go here. That would be very nice for infiltrating. But I'm kind of at a loss about what to do after, let's say, here. So look here. Give this a shot. Go here, we move back, go here. Maybe we could push in that situation. There's this rook move here. Well, I guess we take the pawns. Let's find out. Okay, so that was correct. And now this pawn is undefended. I don't know if it's this. I don't think it is, because the king can move back. After check here. Everything's kind of defended, so let's just attack with pawns. Okay, that's not it. It's not it either. Okay, that is it. I don't understand. And I'm not sure it's a good bet, because that is kind of difficult. So why can't they take? We push. Oh, right, okay, right, because we already have the work on this ring. So, yeah, we're just going to look. So that's my bad, I didn't quite see that, because after the queen, let's say back and have a look. This is winning, because the rook will get all the pawns. So just checkmate, so me being a little bit slow there. Alrighty, so winning some of these and losing some. Okay, so this is an endgame. But queens are still on the board. So we're not going to be able to checkmate immediately because there's just not enough pieces. Queen can't checkmate alone. In case you didn't know that, it has to have the king or some other piece helping it. The kings are in the corners, so not doing a lot. Somewhat vulnerable, both of them actually, because the white king can be checked from this square. The black king can be checked from this square or this square. So we can force a queen trade. I don't know if we should, but that seems like the most forcing idea. Whenever you're solving these, sometimes that's the way to go is just to do the most forcing thing. So, like, after this check, the king has to go here. And we can check here. If the queen takes, we take the pawn. If the king goes somewhere else, we can take double the pawns. Let's see. I think that might be winning. I have to get the queen here. Here, push to protect this pawn. It may be something like going all the way this way and then going behind. So that's an idea. I don't really see anything else. If we take this pawn, with this check, and I mean, they can force a draw. So I'm discounting this move. So I'm sure that these are the first two moves anyway. And now, how to win this endgame. Let's see. We should just be winning. Because we can just get the king active. If the king ever comes here, I think we can push. Or maybe not in that situation, but like with his pawns here. But if the king is here, we can push. And we should be able to force some sort of breakthrough where we can push one of these pawns. So let's go here first. Okay, we didn't need to play it all the way through. But let's see a sample line. So here, here. Okay, it wants to go here and just sacrifice this pawn. Let's see this. Yeah, black's just not fast enough. Let's go faster because this pawn's good. And black still has to clear the way for take this pawn and then march this one all the way down. It's just and get the king out of the way after that. It's just too many moves. So that was a nice in-game puzzle. Okay, this one, I like this one, I think already. This is a great position for white, even though white only has a queen and a rook, and black has two rooks, a queen, and a bishop. So black has an extra rook and bishop. But it all comes down to king safety. And you may be looking at this and thinking, but aren't both kings vulnerable? Well, yes, they are. But it's our turn. So, checks, captures, attacks. There's this check. This check doesn't make any sense at all because the pawn just did. Likewise for this one. So let's say after this check, the king moves here. We could get this check. The king moves back. This pawn would be protected by the queen. So the king doesn't move back because the rook is here. So we can't take this because that would be bad. But currently, this rook is blocking the queen from seeing this pawn. So, if we could get the queen and the rook here, without this pawn here, this would be checkmate. So instead of checking first with the rook, we need to take this pawn with the queen. And you may be thinking, well, that looks pretty dangerous because black can start checking. It can, but here it just doesn't work, I don't think, because the king has this h3 square, and the queen can't check on the diagonal because this rook. They've got a lot of control over the dark squares, but over the light squares they don't have control. And that's really the key in this position. So we have time to take this pawn and checkmate. Okay, so that's not the move it wanted. How does it make sense though? Oh, silly me, silly me. We don't even have to do that. We could just bring the queen back. And then after the king moves and checkmate. Wow, I believe I missed that. But let's say we did do that. Missing a live stuff tonight. Right. Let's say I did do this there. King h3 doesn't work. This would be checkmate soon, I'm pretty sure, because I think in here probably, yeah, there's this. Okay, so that was an oversight on me. So, right, yeah, this is submitted into, I can't believe I missed it into, it's okay. Just keep going. The rating's going down a little bit, but it's fine. Some days are like that. Let's see. Alrighty, so checks, captures, attacks. Let's first count the material. Close this little message. Alright, so black has all the pieces. They have both knights, both bishops, the queen, and the 2 rooks. And we don't have a dark square bishop. So we're down dark square bishop. Okay. The king is very vulnerable here. And let's see if anything else I can see. This is a hanging knight right here. I'm considering just taking this with the rook. That would attack the knights. It would get rid of this pawn so that, let's say, if the rook moves somewhere else, the bishop would check. And it looks like a pretty good move. Just threaten discover check. I was considering bishop takes immediately first, but there's this move. Although after this, it is a pretty good still, because that's a check. After the knight takes, we can take the queen. So both of these look good, actually. Okay. We will be losing a rook though in that other variation, I think. We're already down a bishop, so maybe it won't be so bad for black, even though we're losing a queen. Pretty sure it's just taking with the rook. Because this is more forcing, because it's attacking the queen straight away. Let's play that move. Okay, I was right. And now, I mean, there's a lot we can do. Basically, whenever you have like an X-ray like this rook could move anywhere, and it would be a check on the king. So that looks really good. Take this knight, and that would be check. If you go here, attack the queen, it would be check. I could take this and it'd be double check, which would force the king to move. I looked at this briefly, but I didn't see it moves. Because we don't have a dark square bishop controlling this diagonal. So I think we're supposed to attack the queen. The problem is, I don't see which way, I'm not sure which way to do it. Because I don't see a difference between this check and this check. So one has to be right there, one has to be incorrect, or it would be a puzzle. Okay, so that's a really bit difficult. Well, actually, I do see a difference, because after this check, bishop could block. But this check stops the bishop from blocking. Because the rook is blocking, so it should be this one, I think. Okay, that's correct. And just take the queen. Alrighty, so that was good. Solve a few more of these. Alright, so we have an endgame here. We have both sides have a bishop and a rook. Both sides are trying to promote past pawns. We are down 2 pawns currently. So we need to do something decisive, because if black has enough time, they will inevitably win. There's not really any checkmating idea here. The king is too open, we don't have enough pieces. So that's not going to be it. A couple of ideas that come to mind is sacrificing this rook, because even though sorry, even though we're giving up this rook, we're destroying this pawn structure. Maybe the king can help promote these pawns. Another idea I had was to pin this pawn, but to rook attack it, but I don't think it works at all. So just, yeah. This looks really good to me. I'm just going to go for it. Okay. Take. No, taking is incorrect. So maybe it's just pushing this pawn. Okay. For the sake of pushing, then we'll get take, so we don't have to take it immediately. So I had the right idea, just the wrong execution here. Okay. And do let me know if these are helpful. I know these are a bit more advanced, maybe more difficult. So if you are having, if you are having a hard time, don't take it easy. Because these are at my level. So. Alright, so in this position, both kings are looking vulnerable. Black is immediately threatening to checkmate us, so we have to do something. We are down our bishop. Although, well, we have 3 pawns for the bishop, but I'm not sure that's relevant here. The first move came to my mind is this queen check. The king goes here, of course. If we check here, they go here. Is there a checkmating idea here in this position? Don't see it immediately, but I'm going to keep analyzing this. Don't see it. Okay. And if we don't get a check, we need to block this mate somehow, because we're going to get checkmated if we don't do that. So either checks or some sort of defensive move is going to have to be played here. Okay. But I don't want to play a defensive move because I feel like that just gives black too much time. This check also is interesting. So check here, check, go here. Do I have anything in this position? I'm just not seeing stuff tonight. I don't know. Okay, let's see. So I'm pretty sure it's one of these 2 checks. The problem is I don't see the differences. It could also be this pawn push. I looked at it briefly, but I thought maybe after the queen checking, or maybe even just the bishop taking. I don't see don't see why that would be good for us. I guess black too many options. So I'm set on one of these two checks, and I don't know which one. I wonder if this is just trying to get it through all. I said that last time on one. But so there's this queen check, and after the king here, we could give this a check with the queen instead of the rook, and the king could just go back. And, we could keep repeating. I think that might be it. So I don't see a winning idea here. But, if this king gets to this light square, we don't have any light square control. Because this queen is on dark square. And we don't have a light square bishop. So I'm pretty sure it's just this and going for a draw. I'm going to go for it. Okay, that is incorrect. I don't understand why that is good. Why is that good? Go here. There's a move I'm not seeing. I'm sure of it. We don't have any checks. Unless it's this, but let's see. Pawn push. If the bishop would have moved, then we would have that. But take with the queen. Also, it's just moving a queen back to get this. Okay, that's really advanced. So we're threatening to go here with checkmates. Oh, I guess we could just do this sort of ladder technique. After the king goes away, just take the rook. So okay. That was a bit advanced. I think it should have been rated a little bit higher than what my rating is. But that's fine. Oh, this one. This looks like an opening trap. Some sort of idea here. So we don't have a knight, but they just took a pawn. Okay. Interesting. Our knight can't go anywhere because it's pinned. It's being double attacked. We could give a check, and the queen can't take because the knight could then take. Let's say we give a check. The king can't move because of this bishop. So either the knight will block or the bishop will block. Okay. I feel like if I was in a game, if this was a game I was in, I would not see a tactic carefully. I'd probably just move the bishop back. Maybe the queen here. It's interesting because let's say the knight takes, we take the queen. If instead, queen takes our queen, we take the knight. Threatening to go here. See if they take our bishop, go to a check, get the rook. They probably trap a knight, so 2 pieces for rook isn't bad. And we're knocked down already. Okay, interesting. So I don't know this opening. Let's pick it up. I want to see what opening this is. Yeah, Budapest Gambit. I don't ever play Budapest Gambit. Interesting. So we just sacrifice the knight. Okay, so that's how we got to this position. Interesting. I'm inclined to give this check, just because it is a check. But it's also helping them develop, so I'm not sure. I also just pin this knight. If we pin the knight, we're threatening to push this pawn. Looking at the pawns. That looks pretty good, actually. Let's say bishop here takes. Basically, you know, I kind of like this queen second, actually. Bishop here takes, and push. Let's try this. It's not it. Okay. Let's try this one. That's not it. So it didn't like this. I wonder if it's this bishop. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand a lot of these. Okay. Maybe it's to protect this queen from protecting this pawn, but oh right, because we're threatening checkmate here. Okay, I don't like that one, but okay. Yeah, it's kind of one of those openings, like if you know it, you know it, and if you don't, you don't. This sounds good to me. The knight here is this checkmate. Like that is still this checkmate. Yeah, that looks like checkmate. Ooh, this is a knight. So, what else is here? See here. Pretty sure this is the move. It's queen g4. So this we double attacking the knight, taking checkmate here. If they stop the checkmate somehow, we just have the knight. Okay. That's also not the same. We're missing a lot tonight. It's ridiculous. Okay. I can put pressure on the knight. I don't see how we can save it. Because if we move it after that, then we would checkmate. Or not checkmate, but we'd at least want a rook, and then after this, it should be winning. And also, this knight is kind of pinned right now, so why not just this immediately? Looks good to me. Okay, look up. What's the difference? Let's see. Takes pawn push. But it's not really attacked. Let's see. You can move the pawn. Just like you just take it. Let's see. Actually, what takes? Let's just check out. Okay, so that's nice. That's a nice one. I'll just show that real fast. So if this pawn push, which looks like a bad move, it is a bad move, but let's say after this shot you're thinking you're going to lose your queen. You're not, because there's this checkmate. So, okay. We'll probably make this one the last one, just because I'm just getting a little bit tired. I don't know if you can tell, but okay. So, what do we have going on here? So it looks like all the pieces are still on the board. Black has 2 extra pawns. Both sides have castled. Everything looks well defended, but the queens do look a bit vulnerable. The more I look at this, say after bishop d3, this queen doesn't have anywhere to go. It's not so simple though, because also a6, our queen would have to go to b4, sorry, c4. And so we could also get attacked. So not so simple, but I am leaning towards that. I think their queen might get trapped before ours would. But okay, so let's see. Let's see. I actually like this bishop e3, so e3 move. I'm gonna go for it. Okay, it is correct. Now the question is, should we move the queen or just take with the bishop? We could also take their bishop with our queen. Or we could even take a knight with our queen. I think it might be just taking the knight because... So, okay. So if we take this, they take back either way we take the queen. We took a knight, okay. If we take, they take, we can take this knight. Because that knight is not protected. If we take the bishop, it's kind of an equal trade here. Because they can take the bishop, remove the queen. And then, so we move it here, for instance, to attack the knights. Do they have a move? No, we can't move it here. It's the can't be here. It's yeah. So I'm pretty sure it's just taking the knight on c6. That is correct, and then we could take the queen and do it up the knight. So already, well, I did say that would be the last one. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Again, I'm so sorry that it is late for me getting it out when I want to get it out. Some things were just happening. You know, that's just how it is sometimes. But I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you all get better with chess and really enjoyed playing. So I will see y'all next time, and have a good one.